Today marks the anniversary of the worst day of my life. Okay, that's a really good one. Good God, I never imagined that this lineup would even be possible. Oh no, oh no. Today is the day we finally get to use our brand new TBR jar. This is the first time I'm ever using this method of picking my monthly books to read. If you're curious about all of the prompts in this jar, check out my monthly reset video. That is where I created all the prompts. I'm super excited. I have no idea what March's lineup could look like, with the exception of one book. March is a long month, so I'm going to challenge myself to do 6 books this month. Just a reminder, I am a mom, a wife, and I have a full-time job. So 6 has been the maximum amount of books that I am able to read in a month. I've never been able to break that goal, but maybe this will be the year that I do. Anyways, as I was saying, I have no idea what March's lineup is going to look like, but I do know one of the books that has to be in the lineup, which is Alchemized. I am doing a buddy read, so that is going to be our first book to the lineup, and then we will use the TBR jar to pick the other 5. This will probably be a short and sweet video because this is the only thing I have planned, but I hope it will be enjoyable to you guys nonetheless. I am quite nervous to pick because there are 3 prompts that I don't think I'll be able to actually follow through with if they do get pulled. One of them is my husband picking a new book for me. We just simply don't have the time to go to Barnes today, at least I don't think so. He could surprise me. We'll see if we pick it. And then currently both of my kiddos are in school right now, so if I pull a prompt that involves one of them, I guess I could do that. I'll just wait for them to come home and they can pick one. So we'll see. Quick note, we have a bit of a different setup for this video. I did some quick rearranging of my bookshelf, so I moved every book that I have not read to this shelf. So this is currently my physical TBR. It's pretty modest compared to my digital TBR, so hopefully this setup ends up working really well. Okay, enough chatting. Let's finally do some pulling. I'm going to do the classic shuffle mix. I'm so nervous I'm gonna pull one I can't do today. Okay, first one. Oh, book with best first line. Okay, that's a really good one. Let's see. I guess to be fair, I have to go through all the first lines of all of these books here. So I'll start a pile on which ones are the contenders. We'll just start in order. First up is The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. Is there a good way to find out bad news? Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, I love when books start out with a question or a very short statement. Like, I think there was a Charles Bukowski book. Is it The Woman? I can't remember, but I think the first line of one of his books was, "It was a mistake." Oh, hook, line, and sinker. What was a mistake? What happened? Anyway, this is actually a pretty good one. I'll put all the contenders up on the screen so you guys can remember and follow along. Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. Also, Jessa Hastings. Also, I'm a bit nervous because she is a long one, and I already mentioned I'm reading Alchemized, which is over 1,000 pages. So I don't know if I could actually do a really long book again, but we'll see. I look over at Henry leaning back on the bedhead on his brother's side of the bed. Well, thankfully, that is not the most intriguing first line of a book, so she's gonna go on the no pile. Okay, Night Road by Kristen Hanna. First line, she stands at the hairpin turn on Night Road. Okay, not that interesting. No pile. Firefly Lane, this one's tricky. It was a softie enough for me, so I wouldn't start at the beginning of the book. I remember very clearly where I left off. In fact, I dog-eared it. I remember everything that's happened, so if I did add this to TBR, I would be picking up right where I left off, which is on page 143, so that's actually gonna be the first line that I read. The summer after graduation came as close to heaven as Tully could imagine. While it's intriguing, it's not that gripping, so also gonna go in the no pile. Then, moving on to the favorites by Lane Fargo. Today is the anniversary of the worst day of my life. I mean, okay, yeah, that's gonna go in the maybe pile for sure. The Art Thief. First line, approaching the museum ready to hunt, Stefan clasps his hands with his girlfriend, Anne Catherine, and together they stroll to the front desk as they say hello, a cute couple. No. Wuthering Heights. 1801. I've just returned from a visit to my landlord, the solitary neighbor that I shall be troubled with. Pretty good, but not good enough as a hook. My God, who knows with this one? My year of rest and relaxation. Whenever I woke up, night or day, I'd shuffle through the bright marble foyer of my building and go up the block and around the corner where there was a bodega that never closed. No. The Shadow of the Wind. I still remember the day my father took me to the cemetery of the forgotten books for the first time. It's interesting, but no. Next up, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Let's see what you got. The girl wakes up in someone else's bed. Well, why is she there? What happened? Okay, maybe. And actually, I am gonna go back, because if this one's gonna make the maybe list, then I feel like Shadow of the Wind should definitely make the maybe list. Apprentice to the Villain. This one might be funny. Evie Sage is dead. Yeah, okay, most definitely. To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. The full-bellied moon casts a silver sheen across Vateshram Forest, the shadows stark against their illuminated backdrop. No. Describing scenery, so that's gonna go in the no. Oh my God, Dune Messiah. I'm scared to actually read the first line of this one. I forgot these always start with excerpts of historical texts, but I'm gonna skip that and go to the actual first line of the chapter. Muad'Dib's imperial reign generated more historians than any other era in human history. Not the best first line, so it's gonna go in the no. Okay, God help me if this is in the same month that I read Alchemized. That the prices were simply ludicrous. The prices of what? And because I know what this book is about, I am intrigued. For anyone who didn't catch my last video, this is marketed as a anti-Harry Potter. So because of that and because of this first line, I am curious. It is gonna go in the maybe pile. Given, oh, there's artwork. I did not see that. This is the inside cover page. I despise heights. Me too, girl, me too. But it's gonna be a no. Water Moon. Time has no borders except those people make. That's pretty good. Maybe. Oh my God. It's Rachel Gillig, My Kryptonite. You know this story, Bartholomew, though you do not remember it. Who's Bartholomew? Why doesn't he remember it? Maybe. The Night and the Moon. The Night and its Moon, sorry. It's seldom that a sound defines the course of history. Close, but no. Spark of the Everflame. Guys, we're almost through. This is book 1. Whether it was a blessing or a curse, even now, the subject of considerable debate. Yeah, maybe pile. The Atlas 6. Perhaps it was a tired thing, all the references the world had already made to the Royal Library of Alexandria. No. When the Moon Hatched, Sarah A. Parker again. Also super freaking long book, so little worried. There's artwork in here. Again, fantasy, so going to butcher these names, I'm so sorry. First was Kalis, god of Aether, invisible to the naked eye. I'm gonna go with no for now. Last one is A Fate Inked in Blood, and I actually really want to read this book. So, first line is, my mother taught me many skills to ensure I'd make a good wife to my husband. Not strong enough. So we have to choose from this pile, and I can tell you guys that out of all of the first lines of these ones, the only one I can remember verbatim is the first line from The Favorites, which is, today marks the anniversary of the worst day of my life. So amazing. That is going to be our first pick from the TBR, and I actually think it's perfect because, like I mentioned, currently making my way through Alchemized, I feel like a genre switch to The Favorites would be most welcome as a palate cleanser. So I think that worked out quite well, actually. Let's do our next prompt. Non-fiction. I actually think I only have one, which is The Art Thief, and she's short, so I'm actually very happy with this. Whoops, okay, that one fell out, so I guess it was screaming for me to pick it. Oh no, I already see Hubby Picks. Oh, Hubby Picks book from Bookshelf. I'm not sure if he's gonna wanna be on camera, so we'll see.
Which ones haven't you read?
Yeah, so this shelf is all the books that I haven't read. So you can pick any one of these.
Let's do... I'm gonna say Dune Messiah.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting.
All right, so apparently I'm reading Dune Messiah. My brain already hurts from Alchemized, but maybe it is best that I do continue Dune while I still have book one fresh in my mind. So Dune friends, here we go again. Okay, next prompt. Book picked by the cover. So obviously the best cover on this bookshelf is my special edition of Fate Inked in Blood. However, I didn't pick this book specifically for the cover. I knew more or less what the story was about, and that is what drew me to this book first and foremost. So that one aside, if I truly look at all the books on here, the one that I picked up strictly for its cover, knowing nothing about the synopsis or the story, was in fact Vita Nostra. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm reading this in the same month as Alchemized, and also going to read this in the same month as Dune Messiah. This is just a lot of brain power going on in March, but we gotta play by the TBR rules, so it's on the list. Okay, last prompt before we have the full lineup. Let's see this one. Oh no! Oh no! The book that's been on the bookshelf the longest. That would be the Atlas 6. Why? Why? Oh god. Okay. Well, you know what? This is supposed to be a trial-based fantasy. It's supposed to be dark academia. So yeah, good god. I never imagined that this lineup would even be possible. I would have never manually picked this lineup, but here we are. Y'all pray for me and my brain, because apparently I'm diving into a lot of dark political and psychological fantasies. So yeah, thank god I picked the favorites. I can do this. No, this is so fine. This is fine. This is so fine. Everything's fine. This is good. Well, we officially did our first TBR jar picks. I thought that I had a lot of various genres on this shelf, yet somehow the jar ended up picking similar genres. So, yeah, funny how that worked out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and had as much fun as I did picking these. If you have read any of these books on my lineup, let me know which ones were your favorite or which ones you think I am gonna like the most. And as always, thank you so much for clicking, for watching, for spending some time with me. I appreciate all of you guys. Bye.